to share the blessing of marriage.
Hello, everybody.
What up, Len?
It's great to be here. So, Pastor Lou just said we're going to share the blessing of marriage. I would say not blessing, but a blessing. I've known Ellie for many years. I've watched her grow up here, and she's amazing. She's on our worship team, and I did not know that she was so talented until she said, "Oh, I can play the piano." I can play guitar, and she's like playing everything, So I didn't know that after watching her grow up for so many years here. So it's such a blessing and a nice surprise too, just to see how versatile she is. And Bradley, I met just a few years ago when he came here, and it's interesting. When I'm up here leading worship, I'm watching him jumping up and down, and it's very inspiring. I have to say. And just talking to him is so inspiring too. He puts a fire in my heart. And that is truly a blessing, which I know is going to be a strength in their marriage together. Because a marriage with the foundation of Christ will be very strong. And many of our marriages these days are built upon things that do not last and are not reliable. We just sang a song called "Build My Life." I will build my life upon His love, upon Him. He is the sure foundation. It's interesting also, Brad then reached out to me and asked me to have lunch with him. And I thought it was the funniest thing. He shows up with a notebook. I've never gone to lunch with anyone who brought a notebook before. He was sitting there like waiting to write things down and taking notes about life and about different things and asking me questions. It was almost like an interview, which is really actually very humbling for me. Rita and I have been married. We've been coming up on 12 years now, and we've had some interesting things in our lives as we've grown together, just watching different people as they grow together is an exciting thing. And I have to tell you that when your boss shared about liking tacos, see, now I can share the rest of the story because, you go to restaurants and you see people a lot of times and you see a couple together. Unfortunately, a lot of times they're not even talking to each other. Their phones are in their faces. They're not engaged. And I happened to be coming through the drive-thru of Wendy's, and I looked over at Wendy's, and I saw these two sitting there, and I'm like waiting, going, is that Bradley and Eliana? Wow, it is. And I watched the two of them interact with no audience, nobody around. And I was touched sitting there waiting for my salad. I was touched because the two of them were just smiling and laughing and joking and looking at each other while they were eating. They looked like they were having the best time. And I said, wow. That is just so inspirational. Just a typical relationship these days is not really like that. So to see that, it was so encouraging for me. And I'm glad I could share the Wendy's part because of the taco part. That let me off. I was going to say another restaurant, but just the fact that our marriage should be built upon His foundation. And in Proverbs 5:18 it says, "Let your foundation be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth." Let your foundation be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth. And that fire that I saw between the two of you is something that you need to cling to. You need to just remember your first love times, because things will change, as we heard in that great poem. Things are changed, things are gonna adjust, and whatever's gonna happen. But if you continue to build your life on Christ and continue to hold on to that fire and that love, you will be grounded and growing a very strong relationship. And one other thing that I wanted to share was that as you grow and go on in life, we need to be students of our spouses. We need to school on them, really. I mean, who more do I want to please in my life than my wife? The Lord first, and my wife. He gave me a beautiful wife. And so my desire is to learn what she likes, what she doesn't like, places she likes to go, things about her. The more you school on her, Bradley, the more you can bless her. And Ellie, the more you school on him, the more you can bless him. So just remember that. Be students of each other and continue to grow.
And one thing I'm going to say, and is that one of the things that I love my husband. He has a lot of things that I love. I love him all. But there's one thing that I love the most, well, two things that I love the most about him, that he loved Jesus. He loved him with all his heart. Second, he prayed for me. And one of the things that you need to do for each other is to pray for each other. It's very important. Just pray for each other every day, hard, with all your heart. Just bring your spouse into God's feet. Okay, that's very important because there's a lot of things, we're two sinners that got together, right? So we need a lot of prayer. And who better to pray for us than our own spouses, right? So don't forget that. Just pray for each other. Very important to come to Jesus. Okay? For that.
Woo.